be back. All right. We'll just leave it like that. But yeah, no, if I misclick my mouse and like hit my notepad or like text edit app, it pops up and it's like got my like list of plain text passwords. And I'm like, oh fuck. Just like doxed myself, you know. That will be my downfall. Not drugs or alcohol or anything like that. It'll be misclicking on something and accidentally ordering a hitman. Alright, let's see here. Okay. Let's over here pull up something that looks good. Let's see here. I'm gonna find my handle, study studio. Let's just look that up. There's me. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. If I turn off all this, it should be safe for me to drag this over. I hope so. And show you guys that I did a soft launch for the Instagram wing of this venture, where eventually, because theoretically, not just on the stream, but in other avenues of social media, I'd like to advocate for my greater presence. So if you've been following the stream a long time, you'll see that these are sketches that we did at the very beginning of it. And over time, I'll populate this account with go away. Anyway, there we go. Study_studio_max. So if you follow that, you will keep updated. Hot Local Grandpa is live. See, this is the other thing, is I'm upset that I can't see anybody else's streams because I'm streaming. And I don't want people to come to my stream and not to other people's streams, because everybody should be seen when they're streaming. It's a bit of a dilemma. But I gotta work on this project, and I'm sworn to uphold the sanctity of it being a public-facing thing. So I'll just do my best when I can. You may see me indulge in a little bit of this tasty treat. Cheese balls were purchased for the Super Bowl the other day, and they were not finished, and they must be finished. So we may engage in a little ASMR. I'm not sure. It's not doing it for you. The microphone will probably cut out entirely anything that sounds like noise or errors or static. It probably includes this. We'll see. Now, let me try one more time. Yeah, I think it's doing it because I can see on the little gravity little things. It's definitely filtering that out. I suppose I could turn that off, but then you'd hear all my pops and whistles on my nasally drone, so we don't want that. Hey, what's up, bro? Can you hear this? I'm chewing on cheese balls. You've got a cool sword icon. Did you do that because you're my mod? You're a mod, man. You're a mod. I'm like, you're mad. You mod, bro. Well, anyway. You mod, bro. Mod. Bro, you should follow me on Instagram. Study_studio_max. And this is where I'll post updates to the Zelda-ness. And one thing I'll do that I've started doing across broader social medias, they probably don't work very well, but they've got this app called Glaze and got this app called Nightshade, and you can use it to essentially poison the artwork you create before you post it. And then it can't be copied by artificial intelligence robots. But it can be copied by humans. And humans I encourage to copy and make their own artistic interpretations or make studies. And robots can go get fucked. So get fucked, robots. And everybody else can learn from each other as nature intended. Alright, well, enough of me. Boxer, hope you're doing good. Hope to see you later. My bro is too cool for school, but he is also at work, which I would normally be, except I found out I'm not booked today. But then I had the good fortune to find out that I am booked tomorrow. And so what that does is it gives me this like creative spark and a window in order to do something with my life. And doing a stream, which I hadn't done in effing forever, feels like a great way to put my time to good use. And at this point, I can really only stream for about an hour. But I want to stream later. We'll see. We'll see if my children can go through the night without throwing up on themselves. Or, begging for this and that in the middle of the night. In all seriousness, children throwing up is a big deal sometimes. But in usually... L-O-Z. I love the way L-O-Z looks in that sort of like Legend of Zelda. L-O-Z. Love it. It's good. I endorse you clicking this link. Here, I'll click it now too. I clicked it and it took me here. There you go. Now, obviously this is Zelda oriented today. Once we're done with Zelda, you're helping. Once we're done with Zelda, we will, in fact, take it all the way to the end of Zelda, and then we'll figure out our next project. And it could be anything. It could... I keep leaping this, like, Street Fighter 2. I must want to draw those characters or something like that. I've done very little drawings of Street Fighter 2. Oh boy, wouldn't it be fun to, like, draw some, like, Marvel, like... characters, but like old school, so like Series 2 Marvel trading cards or whatever like that. Like that shit like used to dominate my 4th grade mind. And there's all sorts of cool stuff. Street Fighter has great characters to draw, of course they do. And all those things. So, you know, we'll get there. But for now, all right. So if you have Instagram and you feel so inclined, and you love me, then please follow me here. As you can see, I've posted 12 times. I have 20 followers. I'm pretty sure these are bots. Would it be the same, finding your old artwork and doing your own rendition to start with? And then we might do a little, like, what you don't see is, like, I don't know, a storyboard of... See, it's also supposed to be like, hey, I want to storyboard something too, right? You know, but something small. And anyway, it's all just spec art or whatever, like, it's just like the means to the end of showing that I can provide an interesting way of edutainment is the word, yes? not being too cringe of an art instructor. See, by appropriating pop culture, I can reach these kids and show them that if you eat your Wheaties and follow the basic steps of drawing fundamentals, you can basically do what you want or get yourself out of problems that you've created. And so today, and we'll barely make a dent, which is hilarious, but I will pull up where we left off on the old Zelda project. You know what happened also is I was really I really love like this project and like the streaming and stuff like that. And because it became so important to me, like I started to like put it up on this weird pedestal. I was like, no, I can't do it if things aren't perfect, you know. It's like, oh, I've got snot in my nose. I've got, I need to eat dinner or I need to do other stuff. I was like, oh, the conditions, like, oh, it's raining outside. I can't stream. What if the internet goes out or something like that? And meanwhile, my kids were throwing up and doing other stuff. I had legitimate reasons for not trying to stud. Like, I got thrown off track, and I'm actually really happy to say that a big part of that was actual real paying work picked up for me. So I had actual, like, even at night, like, people were like, hey, can you moonlight? Can you do this other stuff? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. That's how I get in the black. But the reality is that I wanted to come right back, but I was also having a lot of anxiety about, like, oh, I've lost my momentum. Like, I don't even remember how to stream. How do I do it and stuff like that? And it just ends up being, it was like an artist. I got all up in my own head. That's a fucking cool ass link drawing. We did this last time. There was, let's see, what did I do? Well, anyway, I don't want to revisit too much in the past, but that eventually I fell into a rabbit hole of like watching. So I was like, I should research other successful streamers and see what they do. And I just realized I'm like, successful streamers are like train wrecks. They're like fucking like broadcasting themselves, like doing the world's most terrible things to themselves or other people. And I was just realizing, I'm like, this doesn't need to be that complicated. Let's see if I can just, and it's like the things you like. I will not, apart from occasionally roofing myself with cold meds or having too much wine, I will try not to debase myself. And the purpose of this is to uplift the conceit of artistry and using art to as a means to an end. Let's maybe I'm like Mr. Wizard of art or something. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be, but like I'm not gonna be the guy that like is naked on the sidewalk, pounding the pavement, screaming about what happened to that Coney. That's like over 10 years ago. Coney guy, yeah. The majority of viewers like the Schadenfreude. Of course they do. So like, if my mom came in the room and was like, what the fuck are you doing? You gotta, plunge the toilet, or, kind of like, you used all the toilet paper or whatever like that. I was like, that will not be what this is about. We're gonna focus on how we get out of situations like that by digging deep and working hard. But it was eye-opening. I was like, wow, these people have no discernible talents whatsoever. They're just famous for aiming the camera at themselves. Many sad tales in there. All right. So I think unlike... So this image, let's just look at what it used to be. Boy, it'll be funny. Okay, there it is. Turn off these lines. Of course I had to draw over the fucking thing. Alright. Well, I goofed up in that I drew... it's a bad example now, but I drew over the link that was here. Maybe I can just pull it up, because I have these now. Here we go. Manhandla. Link v Manhandla. So this was the original sketch, and I thought this was a badass kind of way, like, of depicting, like, Link with a bow kind of a thing. But the stance is not ideal. It's like, I would call it suboptimal, because we can't really see Link's face, and it's not really how you would hold a bow. And I'm pretty sure this is like the right-handed way, you know, to hold the bow and stuff like that. And there was a lot of reasons why it sort of needed to get redrawn, but that meant I had to basically fix it from scratch. So that's what it did. Anyway, looks better now, and it'll, you know, I can come back to it later and not color it. Well, maybe I might eventually color some of these things, but a very select few, and that'd be fun later. But looks like that can move forward, and now let's just see if this needs the same treatment. This was a very controversial choice. Or originally this was very different. Let's see if we can pull this one up. Because I like the idea that I didn't have it all figured out the first time, you know? Because I didn't. Link v Tektite. Yeah, this is the original sketch of Link getting attacked by Tektites while he's trying to, like, get up there to Mount Death Mountain. And it had a lot of issues because compositionally there were too many things of the same size that were also the same shape. I talked about this in when I drew this redemption image. It was because that was the night after the night that I roofied myself with the cough syrup. So that's the stream I had to quit, and then I really had to come back and redeem myself. So that's why I had to come back and make this one so badass. But it also made me realize it's like the Tektites, as designed, look too much like round boulders, which need to be in the composition, and so I had to redesign them in order to have anything, in order to have what I considered an interesting composition. There are other issues with it, like Link doesn't really climb, does he? I mean, I guess he can maybe in the new games, but there were plenty of reasons for me to give up on the drawing and make it fail, but I wanted to force something to work. So this is where I ended up with it, and I like it, and the Link here doesn't look like a disaster, so I'm pretty sure I can just sort of clean it up, and we'll be good like that. So let's give it a shot. Let's see if I can get this done in the next 45 minutes before I have to pick up my daughter from school, and then we'll feel like we've advanced the ball. Make sure all my tools are working. That looks basically like it's the same brush thickness. Let's assume it's the same. We'll zoom in a little. Closed his mouth there. I don't know if I love that. That might be slightly more badass to just keep it open. Link's costume. Make it slightly bigger so I can see it. Looks like he's got, in this case, we'd see a lot of this undershirt that covers his neck a bit. I'm a big fan of like crazy muscular like neck anatomy that can, you know, it's a turn off to some, but this is you know, can show that really intense like battle cry kind of look. We need to see a little bit of Link mullet action. Boxer, I think you were trying to tell me about some YouTuber that was like crazy. And if you did, because Boxer and I were hanging out for Super Bowl, like, what was it, yesterday? Like 2 days ago. And so if there was any new, like I've learned of the term lolcow and another type of stuff. So big world of sadness out there. But I found those sort of rise and fall documentaries to just be fascinating. Really great to eat up chunks of downtime while I'm doing chores or other stuff. So, if you have other recommendations, recos, you can just call them out. Now, this is looking a little bit too baggy. Needs more. Might take me a little bit to find it, but we'll get there. What mechanism they use to strap the armor onto the... Is it belts? Is it just a tight fit? Like, strapped? He's got some sort of forearm guard here that even in looking at this reference, like, it's kind of too dark for me to make out what's even going on. Of course, it even appears to bend back the other way at some angles. Might just have to ignore some of those details and fudge it a bit. I want things to be accurate and look realistic, but then on the other hand, it's like I definitely don't want to get bogged down on like, oh, is this inaccurate? Like, we don't have the luxury of forever to look stuff up and. Like if I'm looking at a reference and I still can't tell, it's like, fuck it. Boxer, if you're still there, can you tell me if you can hear me when I crunch down on these delicious cheese balls? Because I want people to hear my voice, but if they can't hear me snacking, that's good to know. That means I can stream without embarrassing myself by snacking too much. People might be like, I love Max's streams, but I hate his crunchy palate. We can imply that he's got his shield strapped to his back, as he might. Just because it's a bit of context, I feel like if he had a clip or a loop of something that read like climbing rope, it might provide more context. Efficiently drawing coils of rope is challenging. We can fake part of it. Looks like a coil of rope. Basically just to make it look like he's climbing something intentionally and just doesn't have to be like hanging off the side of a mountain for no reason. pass. Sometimes it's hit or miss if you can guess like where the compression wrinkles in a fabric are going to pop up. They can be a little arbitrary. Like if you bend your knee, you'll see, then you're like wearing jeans or something, or sweats, you know, anything but spandex, you'll see compression wrinkles form. Because I'm so devoid of muscle, you know, you can see them in my shirt, for instance. But even where they form, is that a good example? Yeah, here, look at this. See, I don't have any muscle here, so that's funny. But, you know, they'll form naturally, but they can also naturally just sort of, like if you, boom, did it again, you know, they form again naturally, but they're different than how they were last time. It's not always like a perfect set pattern, depending on like other random factors, like the spin of the earth and stuff. Not really that, but like, you know, you can mess with them and they're still compression wrinkles, so it'd still be valid even if they don't look the same every time. It's not like a scientific certainty, just a tendency that they'll follow certain patterns. So you just have to draw it to match those patterns or those tendencies, and it'll look right, even though it's not identical every time. Like not, you know, both knees don't have to crinkle and make the same patterns. They can be slightly different. This one's mostly done. I'll draw the sword in a second, but You know what I should do is save. Save button. Cheesy balls. Maybe I should change this text. Or I can add a new text. Study Studio Max. Instagram. Let's see what that does. Where did it go? Don't see it. I have to type it here. Figuring this out as I go. That looks like it could be good. Yeah. Yeah, man, you can work. Don't worry about it. Hey, I want to know if you can hear my cheese ball crunchies. Because I want to know if just snacking while I stream is going to be off-putting, but you work, you do you. Only when you get... Sweet Sarita joins in. You heard my snacking. Alright. But it's not like this seductive ASMR thing, huh? All that is good. Just wanted to know. Just wanted to know. I'm happy to have some company today. My plan is to stream again later. I was mentioning earlier in the stream that I will be booked tomorrow. It will be a hard job. It may even need me late. But today I'm not booked, and I presently have two children that are not throwing up, and may even be in bed at a decent hour. So there's a chance. This is a creative window. Not any ASMR level sounds at all. I have so much to learn. I watched one of those. Oh, that's good. Everybody, just hang out and work. It's all good. I watched, like, she was like a booby streamer, to put it politely. And, but one thing that she did was she was having, like, she was, like, running a comb over, like, a stuffed animal, and it was making sounds. And they were actually pleasant sounds, and I don't know why that, in particular, like, what? There must be some science to it, but I guess hearing stuff, like, is it our ADHD brains or something like that? It must be something to do with our weirdly attuned senses. But I liked it. I could have watched that a long time. Her boobs had nothing to do with it. Alright, the rest of that boot is going to be hidden by, like, rocks and stuff. So that looks decent like that. One thing I don't love is, you know, I don't think I nailed quite nailed the wrinkles as it's, like, transitioning. You know, it's like, does it need more knee? Should this foot looks like it's more pointed out to the side? Probably. Right now, this leg is sort of hedging too much. Like, this thigh looks like it's, like, pointed like this to me. And this foot is pointed a little bit more steeply. I don't think that's possible. And maybe it is, but, like, I feel like the foot would have to follow more. I'm sure it's fine, but if it's bugging me, do something about it. ASMR is intricate. There's visual and audio, but I don't know anything else about them. There's I've heard it said that on like Pornhub and stuff like that, they've got porn stars, like, whispering into the camera, and sort of is its own little genre. Something stimulating, but our brains are quite interesting. Was a stitch or something on the side of his boot, or, like, stitches on the side of his pants, that might help. We just sort of add those. There can be stitches. That'll help me make a decision about his darn boots. Like, which way are they going? That's a thing that happens in drawings. People don't necessarily realize when they're doing it, but, like, you might have something that feels like it's going in two directions at once, given the way that it's drawn. Things can't really go in two different directions at once. The way this, I've fixed it to my satisfaction at this point, but the way that it was earlier was not quite right. I needed to do something. I'm glad I did it. I don't know if this is the perfect fix, but it's within the realm of tolerability now for me. And then I'll sleep on it. I'll come back to it later. If it needs more love, we'll see. But right now I feel like this can stand. If nothing else, I just don't want it to catch anybody's eye, including my own. Link ass. That looks good. Okay, let's do the sword. Completely do not remember how I was drawing the Master Sword, so I have to look that up. This version, oh cool, this is that's fun. I'm looking at the Amazon version. I mean, that kid looks like AI. I don't even know if that's a real person. Weird. The sword looks different, and this is all just like AI shit. Like, that sword is not the same as this sword. What? Dude, I hate the world now. Everything sucks. What is... Yeah. Generate an AI version of this answer. I'll have to get specific. Master Sword, Link to the Past. What can I trust? How can I search for things that didn't exist? Let's see here. Tools. Time. I want to be able to search for things that didn't exist within the last 2 years. So it won't be tainted with AI bullshit. Is there a service that will do that? Like, only, like, is I can search in Google for things that are past month, past year, past 24 hours. But, like, I don't see a specific date range. I'm not happy with the state of the world right now, man. This looks pretty legit. Of course, you click it, you can't fucking find it. Here. It'll pop up here. Or it should. Alright, never mind. There we go. There it is. Ah. Mashed the sword. See? I remember looking much cooler. This is cool. The pre-tempered version. I don't know why it's gotta have some. I don't know. I don't love all those details. I mean, I love details on a sword, but that is not how I would do it. But it looks like no matter what, it's gonna have these kinds of sort of has this bending back and then wings that sort of come out on the side, which is good. It's just the potential to be cheesy. When the perspective on a sword has to be self-consistent, which makes it very challenging to draw. I can't crank my head that far over to do it, so let's try it like this. It's not bad. Man, I drew the original one very well. I wish I could just copy that thing. I know I can't get lucky twice without trying to use some layers, so that's what I'll do. We've got about 10 minutes before I gotta call it. Just looking for the right stroke. It's really hard to... Might be close enough. It can be like quantum physics, where it's like you can control only so much about like what's going on. So it's like you can control the angle, but not the length and the intensity. It's like the more control you need, the more it evades. The more specifically accurate, you know, you need something to be, the more impossible it becomes. Boy, sword drawing be sucking. Yeah, I don't like any of that. Let's back up a little bit. Why? Why? This will be one of those famous things that gets me on the map. Watch this YouTuber fail to or I guess I'm not a YouTuber. Watch this Twitch streamer fail to draw a sword for 20 minutes straight. Yo, Boxer, you should do unboxing videos. Wouldn't that be funny? It's like a little joke. It's a joke. It's not funny. It's not funny. Sarita Boxer is my mod now. So watch your conduct. Use the power to oust you. That's looking more decent. And then I have to remember that people are going to see this like from the side, right? I mean, that looks pretty good. Right? You guys wouldn't reject that. Anyway, sometimes the solution presents itself the next day, and you just get to it then. Yeah, that's looking decent. Oh, wow, look at the time. It is about that time. All right, we're gonna do a little extendo break, and I'll come back in the evening time. And I'll probably just do some cleanups for a while because the we'll see. I might be inspired to do another sketch, but the it's like these have such a long way to go, really. It's like I should really like figure out a way to like not have it be so much either or. Maybe I can like do some cleanup and then do some sketching of new stuff so that I don't know. We'll work it out. We'll see. I think it's all fun. I just don't know if it's all interesting for an audience. So we'll have to I like the have a good afternoon. You have a good afternoon. And if I don't see you later, I'll see you next time. Okay, all right. I'm gonna say adios for now, and thanks for stopping by. All right, adios.